G'day everyone, I wanted to do a vlog about, well, you know what it's about. It's in the bloody thumbnail and title. I have a package that has arrived that I am eager to open up and share with you. Those of you who haven't watched the progress so far, I have been producing with Ohuhu 2 incredible high quality colouring books that I'm calling Colour Quest. There's a landscape and a portrait variation. Both have 50 pages, 300 GSM, so really thick marker quality paper, perforated edges so you can remove the pages after you've done the artworks that you're proud of. All in all, just really fun books, but also just thematically all tied together. It's all just about adventure, and all of the artworks in these are from all of the different stories and adventures that I've made and that people in my studio have made over the last decade plus. On top of that, I have done 2 previous marker sets before. Both of those were with Spectrum Noir, and there was a 12 pack, there was a 24 pack. I am really excited because working with Ohuhu, and those of you who follow my main channel will know that Ohuhu are my favorite brand of markers. Copic previously held the top spot, but they were overthrown for a lot more reasons than I can get into in this vlog. Suffice it to say that the marker brush quality is unbeatable, and the absolutely mind-blowing affordability, I just will always recommend Ohuhu markers. So the fact that I have been able to work with them to create my ultimate set of 48 markers is really, really, really exciting. Like, these are all the colors that I chose and I've been putting into practice for over a year now. Like, I've literally just been using my set of 48 markers because I have wanted to make 100% sure that I am happy with my choices. And I am. So that's really, really cool. I love the case because you also get this really nice polished sort of stand that also doubles as an artwork. You can actually color in your marker case, which I love. But I have the next iteration of the prototypes. Before I open that, if what I have shared with you is exciting to you, please go follow the Kickstarter. I'll link to it in the description. It's a pre-launch page, but if these prototypes are what I hope they will be, we will hopefully be able to kickstart in a month or so, which is really exciting. Obviously, there's like logistics and stuff for Kate and I to figure out, but once the prototypes are done, we can really sort of start booking things in and preparing to launch, which is mind-blowing and feels so strange, but also very exciting at the same time. Links in the description, Colour Quest. Make sure all that stuff. You'll notice this is a rather large box, and that is because I have given feedback for the next iterations of the prototype in the hopes that they will be the final version. I have requested several of each so that if I make videos promoting them, I can, you know, use them and still have some pristine versions that I can create promotional footage with. All right. Oh my God. I'm always a bit too aggressive with unboxing stuff, so I need to be careful because I don't want to damage it. Oh, here we go. The Colour Quest is here. Now, as I share this stuff with you, let me just begin by saying thank you to everyone who in the last vlog update on these had shared your feedback. As you will see, I have taken on board as much of your feedback as I can, and these will have been very improved thanks to your contribution. Here they are! There's so many. How many have I got? I think I've got 3 of each. Oh man. The spine on these is slightly larger, but that is, they have informed me, that is not the final spine size. It is simply because the thickness of the cover, so on this one, the cover is thinner and the back is thicker. Point is, it's only slightly larger, and that's because this is only slightly larger, but that will not be the case with the final thing. This is the sort of thing that you wouldn't notice in this video, but the prototyping process is really about fine-tuning those little last details. So I'm going to open one of each, and the biggest initial difference is the spine position. I am so sorry, left-handed friends, that I didn't think of you. And thank you so much for helping make this better. The Color Quest is now right-handed and left-handed friendly. So this was obviously a coloring book I made intending to use it myself. This is one that people who are also left-handed will be able to use as comfortably as I would. So I feel so silly, but it's one of those things where sometimes you just have blinders on and you think in your own world, and getting feedback is just an immensely perfect, a helpful part of the process. So that's the first major change. Oh boy, this is so cool. Now, another change, and I'll show you compared to the other widely bound one. My other little complaint to them was the overhang. As you can see, or the underhang, I should say, the covers are just a little bit set behind the pages. So I've asked for the covers to come out further by 2 millimeters on each, and immediately that's perfect. Look at that. Because I don't want an overhang, because that's how you'll get you don't want bent edges of the hardcover book. This is so nice. Wow. This is different to this one. This one's glossy. So this is the first prototype. This is a glossy print style. This is matte, and it's just immediately way nicer. Interesting. Hadn't had any input on that because I was quite happy with the version I had, but that's just immediately just feels really premium. So yay, that's another change. That's nice. Okay, cool. Next, this is one I'm really excited about. This is just a plastic sheet. That's it. That's the next change. Little plastic sheet. This is actually, there's sort of two changes, but the purpose of this is about bleed through. Even though every page is 300 GSM, which is very thick, and they're one-sided, so bleeding through this page doesn't really matter so much. But bleed through still happens, especially if you're aggressively filling up an area with ink. Eventually, you'll get through and hit the page underneath. This was included simply to put under page you're working on, so that doesn't matter how you can peace of mind just blitz away with your colors, and all of your other artworks will be safe. Such a simple little touch, and I'm just so happy that Ohuhu are throwing that in. They're also throwing in an additional blank page at the very end for swatching. So anyone who gets the marker set, who wants to sort of have a display of all of the colors that they can easily reference, there is a single blank page at the back of the book. There is another little change you will see as I just hold up the back of this page here. Every page now, and this was suggested, there was someone who suggested including QR codes to the videos or the origins of the artwork. So I can look at any of these artworks and know where it came from, just because either it having come from myself or someone in the studio. This was my Apple dragon design. I think it was a character design session. But if you don't know what it's from, or if you just sort of want to go on an adventure with the artwork and you just sort of want to know where it came from and how it came to be, at the back of every page is a QR code that will lead to the video. And in some instances, the specific time code, because there are some where they're role play characters who appear halfway through a role play episode, and going to the video won't really make it clear for you, but those, for example, will have a QR code where you end up at a specific point in the video where that character is introduced. So it's a really fun touch. And on top of that, there is also a credit. It's upside down. There is also a credit with each artwork. So for obviously, I think I've created about 70-80% of the illustrations. But if I sort of flick through, here's one. So this one was created by Morgan, who was creating art for Insert Art at the time. And if you're interested in that one, it sort of comes up there. As you can see, illustrated by Morgan Howell. There's a QR code, and you can sort of see the video where that came up. And there are some, this is one where it's it's a koala dragon, where there's enough weird curiosities that you might not help but want to know why, and there are some that are also just classics. This one's particular. It's 8 or 9 years old, this one, but I still really love the visual of it. And there are a few classics that I've brought forward from my previous colouring book, which I think was like 30-something pages. Just a little over half of those have been kept. The other half weren't up to a standard that I was happy with. So that's another addition/change. Another one was I put to you guys, what do we do about the order of the pages? And there were some interesting insights and interesting feedback, but overwhelmingly the direction that people seemed to want was sort of ordering more based on difficulty than anything sort of thematic, and that's what we've done. So the first piece, simply because it's the cover, the first piece is the same piece as the front cover. After that, it becomes very, very simple and increases in complexity as you go. So the first handfuls of pages, and I'll just start moving through a few at a time now, start to introduce, slightly more details, slightly more elements of interest. This is sort of, I'm not even quite halfway through the book now, so if I flick to somewhere in the middle, you start to get a little more detail, a little more anatomy, some with environments, some with multiple people. And as you get towards the end, if I sort of get to the last few, you get a lot more things to fill in. These are pieces that will probably take a lot more time, maybe take a little bit more understanding of the use of your colors, or just be a little bit more work to fill in, maybe bigger challenges to tackle. I think Alicia and I felt like was a really great way to order the color quest. So if you're getting the landscape one, you can expect more landscapes, like literally, even as I just flicked through, you can see that there are more environments. There are some obviously characters in environments, characters interacting in environments, but generally they're just a little more scene focused. The portrait one, which we haven't opened yet. This is so fun. I love making stuff. Oh my God. They're so hefty. This is one of the most significant coloring book. This is the most significant coloring book I've ever held, and I made it. Massive credit to Alicia, who did so much work helping do a lot of the illustration line work. So a lot of these artworks were illustrated by me or other people in the team. I think something like 80% of the actual line work was done by Alicia, which is a bit of a slog. She spent months on this, so she's done a fantastic job. All right, here is the portrait one. I'm so excited about because I'm showing you the second one, but I feel like I'm showing you the finished one, which is really great because that means it feels finished. I don't want to jinx it, but this feels finished to me. Okay, so we open it up. We have our plastic sheet. We have our front cover artwork, and then we will have a very simple artwork. In this case, it's the Weasel Cop this is one of my earliest character design sessions. And then a much more recent one. This is my gold panner from my character design masterclass. So it's so fun. For me, it feels like a real journey through time, but the standard and the style, it all intertwines. It's all a journey through time and characters and adventures over the course of my channel's lifetime, my studio's lifetime. There's another one from the character. There you go, these two from the character design masterclass, which you'll know if you scan the QR code on the back. This one was illustrated, I think this one was Alicia's. Yep, illustrated by Alicia Lowry. This is so fun. So this was a Lara Croft illustration that we de-Lara Croftified. So there are some, where if you go to the video reference, it has changed. So I think, what's the biggest example? I think there was one that Alicia did. This was like a Steven Universe character, and we just needed to tweak it so that even though it obviously doesn't look like a Steven Universe character, we just need to make sure that there weren't design elements that were clearly infringing on copyright so that we end up with a unique, little more generic, definitely not copyright infringing character is what I'm trying to say. Here we have a roleplay character, Niall. Don't at me, roleplay viewers. And then as I flick through, we'll skip ahead to some of the more complicated ones. We have this was one of the ultimate character design sessions. I forget the character's name. This is our Phoenician. This was a line work illustration of the first ever commission I ever gave Alicia. So the first ever painting that I ever got her to do for Tabletop Time Roleplay was of the Thanisian race as I was starting to put together the Iron Spy campaign. The first piece she'd ever done for us. She's been with us for over 3 years now, and you know, we can't get enough of her. So, and as you can see by this work, like her ability to just work in different styles, and in this case, line work, is just phenomenal. We love it. We love Alicia. All right, and then I'll flick again through to the end. I'm skipping so many. There's just so much in here. It's great. So we have much more intricate, complicated. As you get to the last few, there's a lot more going on. And then we have our last blank page for your swatches. Like I said, the landscape is a little more landscapey focused. The portrait is definitely more character focused. There are many that literally are just portraits or busts or full poses. And of course, if you want 100 pages, there will be a bundle with both books. And of course, if you want the ultimate set of my recommended markers, there will be the ultimate bundle, which will come with all three. That is the Color Quest, and it's as simple as that. 50 pages of high quality, thick marker, studio quality paper, perforated edges. All of these can be removed safely. You have a plastic sheet so that you don't bleed over into other pages. These are perfect. I'm really happy with that. I'm going to contact Ohuhu and be like, let's do this. So I don't know exactly how long from now it's going to be till we launch, but hopefully soon. Kate and I have to sort of get into figuring out logistics and stuff. This will be our first time doing sort of direct from manufacturer to distribution and shipping. Normally we've been working with a third party. So anyone who backs a campaign, please be patient with us as we sort of work through this for the first time, but we are going to do our absolute best to make sure we get everyone what they want in the best condition that we possibly can, in the best timing we possibly can, and at the best price we possibly can. I will side note that with the exploration we've done so far, shipping is bloody expensive. We're going to do what we can, and we'll find as many options as we can to find the best options in terms of like our confidence that it will get to you, and that it will not break the bank. Oh, and there have been people asking, there will be a digital version so that you can back the Color Quest if you don't necessarily want to buy the physical books, but all of the tiers above the digital version will also get the digital version. So if you want to reprint any of the ones that you have in here, and let's say like one of the front cover pages, and you sort of don't do the quality outcome that you would have liked, you will be able to print it again and do it again. We have to figure out stretch goals, we have to figure out a whole bunch of all different other stuff, but suffice it to say, I think we're about to go on a Color Quest. I hope we are. Ooh, go click the link in the description. I'm very excited. This is so cool.